Hello, and welcome to Small Business Success Stories at SCORE Houston. This is where we bring insights, experiences, and the journey of successful small business entrepreneurs. SCORE mentors volunteer their time to guide small businesses. SCORE is America's largest network of volunteer business mentors supported by the U.S. Small Business Administration. Here in Houston, we provide free confidential mentoring and education to help entrepreneurs start, grow, and succeed. Now, let's dive into today's small business success story.
I'm your host PV Bala, and today I have the privilege of sitting down with a remarkable entrepreneur whose journey embodies resilience, reinvention, and the power of turning adversity into opportunity. Our guest today is Corine Short, founder and CEO of Energy Nouveau LLC and the driving force behind That Stuff Nutrition, Houston's premier smoothie bar serving the athletic and health conscious community. Corinne's short story is one that will resonate with so many of you listening. She began her career as a captain in the US Air Force, where she discovered a passion for fitness and nutrition. After her military service, she transitioned to corporate America, working successfully as a medical device sales representative. But then came a moment that changed everything. She was laid off. Instead of seeing this as a setback, Corinne saw an opportunity. She took a severance package, invested it in herself, launching her entrepreneurial journey in 2012 with Synergy Nubu. With her ongoing PhD, study in health and human development, multiple certifications as a personal trainer and life coach, and an unwavering commitment to helping others achieve optimal wellness, Corinne built a health and wellness empire. In October 2019, she opened the first That Stuff Nutrition location in downtown Houston. Today, That Stuff Nutrition has grown to two locations, including a spot on the Texas Southern University campus, plus a food truck, and employs 13 team members. Her smoothies are not just delicious, they are scientifically designed with superfoods like sea moss, customized detox blends tailored to individual nutritional needs. What makes Corinne's success even more inspiring is that she didn't do it alone. She partnered with SCORE Houston mentors and participated in small business administration workshop, using those resources to transform her vision into thriving business it is today. For her success, Corine won the Houston District Veteran Business Owner of the Year 2025. Corine, welcome to podcast. We are so excited to have you hear your story.
Thank you for having me. Truly honored to be here.
Let me congratulate you first on winning the Houston District Veteran Business Owner of the Year. Our listeners who may not be familiar with that substitution, can you give us a quick overview of what you do and who you serve?
Of course. So, That Stuff Nutrition is pretty much like a functional nutrition and wellness brand. It's focused on helping people in their bodies with intentional hydration, nutrition. I cater to not just professional individuals, but busy professionals, as everyday people who want just real nutrition, not just trends or fads.
Good. You served as a captain in the US Air Force. How did that experience shape your approach to business and entrepreneurship? Is that where you developed a passion for fitness and nutrition?
Actually, yes. So my time as a captain in the Air Force shaped everything about how I approach business.
Great.
The military taught me discipline, accountability, systems thinking. I mean, you learn very quickly that success isn't just about talent alone. It's about preparation, teamwork, leadership, especially like under pressure. And more importantly, it's about finding the right engine to focus on. Um, that experience also deepened my passion in the fitness and nutrition space because I was also a fitness nutrition officer. So I helped with the Air Force fitness population. And then I did like their physical readiness for deployments and all that stuff. So I saw really truly firsthand how proper nutrition really impacts performance, resilience, mental clarity. And really that stayed with me well long after service.
Interesting. That's wonderful. After the Air Force, you moved into corporate America as a medical device sales rep. What was that journey like?
Ooh, it was interesting, right? So after the Air Force, when I moved into corporate America, into the medical device sales, as you can imagine, those are two completely different things. But it was an incredible learning experience, all to say the same. I learned how to sell with integrity, build long-term relationships, understand healthcare systems, communicate on a um, high level with educated professionals. And then at the same time, I realized I was learning skills that would eventually service my business, even though I didn't know it at the time.
That's wonderful.
Mhm.
Then came your pivotal moment being laid off. Can you walk us through that experience and the decision you to use your severance to start your own business? That takes courage, and we get clients regularly who are laid off and they consider starting business.
Yes. So being laid off was one of the most pivotal moments of my life, to say the least. At that time, it felt devastating, but it also forced clarity. I did have, as we mentioned before, had the chance to either use my severance to wait for the next corporate role or to invest in myself. So obviously, I chose the latter. And starting a business truly takes courage, but it also takes conviction. And I knew I had the knowledge, the experience, and passion to build something meaningful. But that moment taught me that sometimes what feels like a setback is really just a redirection into finding your purpose.
Yeah, I've seen in my life also the so called setbacks or disappointments actually lead to something even bigger. So looking back, we said, look, that should I shouldn't have considered that as a setback. That's the way of, the so-called Almighty telling you, I have a different, better path for you. Yeah.
Exactly.
What made you decide to focus specifically on nutrition supplementation and eventually smoothie bar rather than the traditional physical training or fitness?
So I've always been into fitness, health, and wellness. Even as a kid, I kind of did every single sport known to man. My parents kept me very busy in that from elementary all the way through college. I was in some sort of athletic realm. So it was kind of natural for me to just start in the fitness realm. But I quickly realized something very important that you can't out train a bad diet. So, nutrition is actually fundamental. It impacts your energy, your recovery, mental health, long term outcomes, just in general for health. So, then I decided to find quick and easy ways because we are in a quick and easy society, right? So, smoothies and functional
Yeah.
supplementation actually allowed me to reach people where they were in a manner of what they desired more consistently, daily, and in a way that felt approachable. So food would be essentially like the first intervention once we addressed everything else that comes up in life, and that could actually just start on the path of improving. So that's why I chose that route.
Oh, great. Um, you started Synergy Nuvu in 2012, and that stuff nutrition didn't launch until 2019. So, what was happening during this interim period? And of course, you had COVID too that time. So,
Yeah.
what happened
Oh,
during this period? I mean,
so those years in between there, I was still working in corporate America.
okay,
So I still had Synergy Nuvu, but it was more of like a side hustle. Like I would just do it from time to time on my weekends and off
okay,
time, something
yeah,
that I still kept interested. But when I was laid off in 2018, that's when I just kind of propelled everything. So it actually didn't just start with the smoothie
okay,
bar. In 2018, it started with creating my own supplement line. So I had my
Okay.
own protein powders,
Mhm.
pre-workouts, BCAAs, all the supporting details
Yeah.
for the business of fitness. And then I thought I was going to be more in the retail side of things, like from 2018. So I wanted to get my products on the shelves and
Okay.
do Walmart and stuff like that. And then 2019, the smoothie bar concept came about because I wasn't getting all the yeses that I wanted. And so
Okay.
then it was like, well, if I'm not getting the products on the shelf of somebody else, well, I'll create my own shelf to put my
Mm.
products on. So 2019. So those years in between were really about education, refinement,
Mm.
um, real world testing, learning, adjusting, preparing. And I didn't realize that set me up to where I was today. You mentioned something about COVID. Um, no, that hit different as it did with everyone else. And like many businesses, I had to pivot quickly, right? That period reinforced the importance of adaptability, finding my community, and having a mission way beyond creating a profit.
When did you first connect with SCORE, and what prompted you to seek mentoring?
Um, I connected with Store because I truly believe in mentorship just in general. I don't think anyone builds anything meaningful alone. And I knew I wanted guidance from people who had already navigated the challenges of entrepreneurship, especially in the aspects of scaling, financial planning, long term strategy. And I found that Score offered access to the experience without having anyone with ego or, other ulterior motives.
That's right. That's right. That's very much SCORE's USP, People experience 40 years, 35 years, retired, and they're not consultant, they're not charging, they're free mentoring. They're passionate about giving what the knowledge they have.
Yes.
What was your experience? What advice did SCORE give you?
Yes. So my score mentor, Bill Horowitz, shout out to him, really helped me slow down and think strategically. I know I can be all over the place. I'm like, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this. So he was like, all right, Corinne, we got to narrow in your focus. I know you want to do everything, but let's figure out what's going to be the most valuable for you right now. So he was able to help me separate my activities from what I just thought I wanted to do and actually find progress in what was
Mm.
more meaningful. Um, and so I think that perspective really helped me refine my systems, my pricing, my growth decisions, business planning, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah, exactly. So Bill is a mentor with many years of experience, and he has a lot to share in that aspect,
Yes.
certainly. Anyway, it was good that you got the right advice at the right time. You also attended SBA workshops. What are some of the most valuable lessons that you gained from your experience?
Well, honestly, I went through several of them, right? And it's invaluable.
Okay.
They provided structure, financial literacy, compliance, forecasting, understanding how to position like your business for longevity. Um, I think for entrepreneurs, the knowledge you can use just as leverage to help in building your foundation. So I went through several different workshops. Can't even count how many workshops I've been a part of.
Yeah,
Just
workshop and free webinars and everything is available. Yeah, that's right.
yeah.
Your smoothie menu is simply fascinating. You incorporate superfoods like CMOS, detox blends, and create customized smoothies. How do you leverage your ongoing PhD in health and human development to design these products? What's the process like from an idea to a smoothie product putting into the menu? What's the whole journey like?
So my PhD directly informs how I design a product. Okay. So every smoothie or blend starts with the question, what problem are we solving? Then we look at the research, the ingredients, the synergy, bioavailability, and real world application. It's more of like a thoughtful, intentional process that I can actually just translate in science for actual use. So it's with my research and my education, I'm able to go deeper into, well, what increases energy for the athlete or the wellness, fitness minded individual. Well, what are those minerals? Instead of using artificial ingredients, we can use functional ingredients that actually help with longevity in life,
Yeah.
not just your quick right now. Um, Not saying that there's anything completely wrong with those synthetic supplements, but I really focus on not just a quick burst of energy or a quick burst of performance. It's what's going to get you going now and also sustain the rest of your body later. So everything, I'm just a nerd. I like researching. So that just kind of made sense that I
Yeah.
kind of pinned the two together.
Oh, good, good. So you have now got enough feedback to know what is working, what is not, and from this, what are the new things that you can launch?
hmm Yes. I am always looking at finding new things to launch, and where I kind of want to go in the next generation. At this point, I know my focus now is more like corporate wellness, trying to impact people on a greater scale and educating them on new innovative ways to create healthy habits.
Now, regarding your growth from one location to two locations, plus food truck, and having 13 employees. So, what are the challenges in scaling? You have these employees on contractual or part time, or how does it work?
Yes. So, okay. So first, scaling is exciting, but it's not without its challenges.
Yeah.
Just want to make sure everyone knows that. You have your hiring, your training, you're maintaining a culture. You use a mix of part-time and contract employees with flexible hours and maintaining
Yeah.
quality all at the same time. I mean, growth ultimately requires really good systems, not passion. I learned that really quickly. Like you can have a desire to have the business, but you have to have a strategic system in place, especially the more people you get involved, because you have to realize not everybody has the same vision as you. This is not everyone's passion. And so you have to create the culture within the people that you have, and then not be afraid to let some people go if they just don't
Yeah.
align with that. Um, so, I mean, you just got to stay flexible within the process. I've had W-2 employees, I've had 1099 employees, I've had interns. I've kind of had a little bit of everything. I can't say one is better than the other. It really is just the quality of the person, honestly.
I like what you said, passion by itself is not enough. You need to work in a system,
Yes.
strategy and system and process driven is very true for any organization too, in corporate. Now, this TSU campus location, that's pretty interesting. How did that partnership come about, and what's unique about serving a college campus community?
Mhm. So the TSU partnership came through just perfect alignment, to be honest with you. I was friends with a young lady who was already working on TSU campus, and she had already known the brand. So this actually goes into you never know who's watching you. So when you're
Wow.
creating a brand and influence, stay above board, right? Because you just
Yeah.
never know your name, your business is being talked about in rooms that you're not even in. And so she brought it up and she was like, they were looking for someone to take over a space on campus. And she was like, I know exactly who you should consider.
Wow.
So that's how the conversation came. It was definitely one of the most rewarding experience because serving college campuses, it's unique because you're influencing habits at an early stage. Students are forming like lifelong behaviors that they actually start to take serious. Like this is a generation that is about health. They're curious and you really get to impact their lives on a greater scale. And they have just the right amount of education and knowledge to be dangerous and empowering, but not enough to just really take on the world. So you're at a really good sweet spot with dealing with college individuals.
That's lovely. Every entrepreneur faces setbacks. So, what was your biggest obstacle in building that stuff nutrition? How did you get that through that? And was there a mentor or to help you, or it was a mindset shift, or a specific strategy that helped when you faced the obstacle?
Yeah, so my biggest obstacle, and I'm still learning, God's not through with me yet, was learning patience.
Oh,
Growth does not happen on your timeline. It's the one thing. Yeah. So I needed all, I leaned on everything: mentorship, mindset shifts, focusing on my systems. Just really, there's no emotion in business. And so you just had to stick to the plan, stick to your why you're doing it. And honestly, that just kind of helped push me through. So I had to lean on everything to get me through because, yeah, no, it does not operate on your timeline. Doesn't matter how perfect you are.
no, I can tell you, as an entrepreneur, you need to have patience. And in your further journey too, you got to develop a tremendous amount of patience because, like you said earlier in your conversation, you came to learn about in your U.S. Air Force experience about interpersonal relationship maintenance. That's again goes along with having patience. You see,
Right.
so you develop the both that helps you in your further journey. Looking back at your journey from 2012 to today, what are the three top lessons you have learned about running a successful business?
I would say, first of all, as I've kind of been touting already, systems matter more than motivation. Um, Cash flow is simply the oxygen of the business, right? It should not be the thing that you focus on. It should just be what funnels the energy of what you're currently doing. And then find a community and mentorship that will help accelerate your growth and keep you grounded. Because it's really easy to fly off and want to do a little bit of everything. So you need a community and a tribe of people to say, hey, okay, that's great. Let's table that. But you said last week you wanted to go in this direction. Have we exhausted this yet?
Yeah,
Because you can
exactly.
find yourself getting a little bit of everywhere just
Correct.
because it's not working immediately. That doesn't mean you have to jump off the course. You probably just have to dive in a little deeper.
Yeah.
And then some things you do have to pivot and flow quickly. But when you have a community and a mentor that can actually guide you and knows what your ultimate goal is, they'll
Mm.
also be able to give you guidance on whether or not, okay, no, this is not the train you should be on. Get off. Or just ride this one out just a little longer. So I think I know that was a little bit more, but those would
Perfect.
definitely be my three top
Yeah.
takeaways.
Now, looking back again, uh, in 2019 when you started, give one piece of advice uh, before opening that location. What would it be? I'm saying that now being where you are, if you had to look back at the 2019 past event when you opened the first, would you have done anything different if you had that kind of an advice, that experience that you gain now?
Yes. Um, I would tell myself, find an engine to attach yourself to, meaning if it's a big corporation or someone that has um, more experience in the area that you're looking to do, like
Hmm.
attach yourself to that sooner
Okay.
and dive in deeper. And then trust the process. I think it took me from 2019 to now. I already knew what my purpose was, but to really hone in on it, I probably would tell myself in 2019, kind of really take some time to sit and understand why you're doing this and for whom you're doing this for. Yes, it can be a money driver, but what is the end game? What is your global impact that you want to have with this brand? And I think all the decisions that I would have made would have been a little different if
Hmm.
I looked at what is my global impact that I want to do, even if it wasn't going to end up being global, but it puts you in a certain mindset.
Yeah, good to have that vision. Yeah.
Yes.
Um, you have a pretty good academic background, BA, MA, MBA. Now you're on your PhD journey. How your education contributed to your business success? And what do you think? Is a formal education necessary for entrepreneurship?
So my education taught me how to think critically, analyze data, make informed decisions, right? But formal education isn't required. But learning is. Being curious, having a sense of humility, are just really two really big non-negotiables in starting a business. I don't think you have to get formal training. I just did it because I'm just a nerd, but you just have to constantly stay learning, whether that's through books or podcasts, or you just got to stay in your craft and stay in your field.
Uh, Corine, what would you say to someone listening right now who is in corporate America, maybe facing a layoff or just being feeling unfulfilled and dreaming of starting their own business? What are the first three steps that they should take?
Breathe and trust yourself. Okay. Start small, like validate your idea of what you want to do for the greater good, and then find mentorship. Yeah, you don't need to leap. You just need to be you just need to build intentionally. You don't just have to jump out there, but be intentional with whatever you're going to do.
How do you continue to grow personally and professionally? Are you still working with any score mentor or other?
Yes. I continue working with SCORE mentors, advisors, educators. Yeah, the growth never stops. In fact, I had a meeting with Bill just the other day about my next journey of where I want to move into.
Excellent.
And he's just like, yeah, let's go. So yeah, no, it never stops. And I'm always constantly growing. And I have a true vision of impacting the world, right? And I know that's like the bigger scale, but like there are certain steps that I need to take in order to do that. So yeah, never stop growing.
Very
Ever.
good. So, Karan, where can our listeners find that Chef Nutrition? And if they want to connect with you personally, what is the best way?
So my website, thatstuffnutrition.com. That Stuff Nutrition everywhere on every social media platform out there. The quickest way to connect with me would be probably through like your Instagram, Facebook, DM channels. You can definitely reach out to me. It is monitored by a real person. So you can definitely reach out
Yeah.
and connect with me there.
Excellent. Corinne, thank you so much for sharing your incredible journey with us today. Your story is truly inspiring.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm so excited that you asked for me to be a part of this. This really meant so much. So thank you for having me.
Thank you for listening to Small Business Success Stories at SCORE Houston. If you are an entrepreneur or small business owner, we'd love to support your journey. You can reach us at 713-487-6565 or visit us at 8701 South Gessner, Suite 1200, Houston, Texas, 77074. Our office is open Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., except for federal holidays, and walk-ins are always welcome. To learn more, request free mentoring, or register for our workshops, visit us online at www.score.org/Houston. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and remember, at SCORE, we're here to help you thrive.